Right now, there are approximately 145,000 people in Kelowna, and the city is rapidly growing. In fact, since 2016, it has increased by at least 13.5%. Today, we are going to go over what the cost of living in Kelowna is. We're going to talk about rent, we're going to talk about bills, utilities, we're going to talk about housing. I'm going to cover it all, so definitely stick around until the end. My name is Stephanie Lafergie. I am a realtor and mortgage broker, and I am here to help you make your move as stress-free as possible and give you the ins on this amazing city that I call home. I've been here for 7 years. I think I can accurately divulge what it's like to live here in terms of cost. Let's talk about what the average salary in Kelowna looks like. The average person makes around $54,000, with the average household income being $106,000. The current minimum wage in Kelowna is $16.75. That is a modest living, and I would even encourage you to get a job of at least $20 an hour. Cost of living has definitely gone up, and I would say that mostly applies to food and childcare. If you're a family where childcare is an issue and you're relocating here, you definitely want to look into daycares immediately, because not only is childcare expensive, but there's also a shortage of childcare in this city. It is not easy to find care, so definitely you want to get your name on that list ASAP. If you need any recommendations for childcare, I would love to help you out. So let's talk about housing. Right now, the benchmark for a single family detached home in Kelowna is $998,800. A townhome, we're looking at $728,000, and for a condo, we're looking at $485,000. Now, different communities in Kelowna have varying housing prices. For example, if you're looking at the Lower Mission, a very popular area, it's going to be more expensive than somewhere like Rutland in Kelowna. Things like size, when it was built, all of those factors affect the cost. I'd like to show you a few properties that are listed in various different price ranges, and I'm going to be using the Move Okanagan website. I love this tool. You can become a member very easily, and you can even save your searches, which makes coming back to the site even more efficient because your safe search is right there. Here I have a condo that is $399,900. It's located fairly close to downtown, and it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 664 square feet. When you scroll down a bit further, you'll see a little bit more features. There's a balcony, the community name, the area it's in. The maintenance fee is $277.90. I would say in general, your average maintenance fee is around $300 to $350. Now, you will find the odd building where it's more, but I would say overall, even when you're looking with a lender, that's the strata fee they're going to be using as an estimate. It's going to be around $300 to $350. Now, the amenities are also listed. You're gonna wanna look for this as well with adults 55 and up. There are a lot of buildings that are for adults 55 and up. This is not a building, if you're in your 30s, that you'll want to live in, despite the price being right. Here we have another condo right in Kelowna. This is a $600,000 condo. It is in the Playa del Sol area, which is the Lower Mission. And this one is a lease. So be careful of these properties. A lease is going to be harder to find a lender. Often these are short-term rentals, and in case you didn't already know, Kelowna is no longer allowing short-term rentals unless it is your primary residence. So it's really important that you read these descriptions and that you're aware of any leases in place, which means that these are not freehold and you don't actually own the property, you're just leasing it. So here we have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo that is not a lease, and similar price, located in Kelowna North, so downtown. $599,900. It's in a great location and 2-bed, 2-bath condo. Highlighting the features: balcony, air conditioning, and the maintenance fees are a little bit higher here, $371.60. Some are around that 350, but you can definitely go above depending on the unit. I also wanted to include a listing of a townhome, as these are becoming very popular for growing families that can't quite get into that single family home market yet. This is a great option. There are some amazing townhomes in the Kelowna area. This is a townhome that's downtown. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, a little bit of a smaller townhome, but you can grab one of these for $700,000 and the square footage is 1,163. Let's look at a single family home. This is 1,195,000. It's located in the Upper Mission. The square footage is 3,031 square feet. And there's a couple details like a 2-car garage, RV parking, and you have a lake view. This site can be really handy in terms of just finding the things that you want in a home. Now, what about if you're renting in Kelowna? We actually have a very low vacancy rate in Kelowna. It is difficult to find a rental apartment or home here in Kelowna. However, it is definitely not impossible, and there are people that are willing to rent out their space. With that being said, let's go over some of the average rentals that we see in Kelowna. I've got a little infogram here. The overall average is $2,337 per month. If you're looking at a 1-bedroom, you're looking at $1,853. A 2-bedroom will cost you about $2,343, and a 3-bedroom, you're looking at about $3,000. A lot of times rent will be with utilities or without utilities, so your costs can definitely vary on this. So now that we've discussed rentals in Kelowna, let's move on to property taxes. Now, property tax will vary based on your location, the size of your home, what's close by. So I'm just going to take you through a few listings that are active right now in Kelowna. Let's look at this property tax sheet. This home is located in the Upper Mission. It's a $1.2 million home assessed at $1.214, and the gross taxes are approximately $5,000. Let's do one more for a half duplex. So this duplex is right in Kelowna. It is assessed at $610,000, which put its taxes at $3,296. Here we have a tax sheet for a $300,000 condo that's in Kelowna around Gordon Street, which is fairly close to downtown. And the total tax assessment was $304,000, which made the gross taxes $1,093. Now, again, this tax year is for 2022, so a lot of times they haven't yet put up tax year for 2023. So you can see that property taxes can vary quite a bit depending on the building that you're purchasing, depending on the amenities that are close by. There's lots of factors that affect property tax. But let's move on to utilities and bills. So I'm actually just going to show you some of my bills. I live in a 4-bedroom home. It's a bi-level, so 2 beds up, 2 beds down. It was built in 1970, so the windows are a little bit drafty. It's not the most effective in terms of energy efficiency, but I got to use what I've got. Typically, I would say you're looking at $250 to $500 a person for bills in an apartment or in a home. So again, it can range depending on the time of year, what your source of heat is. There's lots of varying factors that go into this. So here is my Fortis bill. Yes, it's a little bit high, but remember, we're in the Okanagan. It's February. It is cold in February in the Okanagan, and my windows are drafty. This should give you a good idea of what a single family bill might look like in the winter. Now, remember, in the summer, this will likely be around $20. My BC Hydro bill probably cost me around $90. I would say that is pretty standard all year long, because in the summer, you've got your AC cranked because it gets pretty warm in the Okanagan, and in the winter, it gets cold. So I would say, depending on how hot or cold of a person you are, depending how big your home is, all of these things affect your bills. But for me, 4-bedroom home, it's about 2,600 square feet. It cost me about $90 a month. Let's move on to public transportation. There are about 31 routes in Kelowna that take you all over the city. The city is fairly spread out, and the transit app can actually help you plan your trip as well. The cost for a single ride is about $2.50. For a day pass, you're looking at $6.50. And if you'd like to buy a monthly pass, it is about $70. Now, of course, students, seniors, they get discounts, but if you're just a regular person like me, those are the costs that you're looking at. We do not have Uber in Kelowna. However, we do have taxis. And a taxi to go about 10 to 15 kilometers is probably going to cost you about $30. Kelowna is pretty spread out, so you're usually going to be expecting around a $10 and up cab drive, no matter where you go. What about if you've got your own car and you're driving? Where is the cheapest gas? Well, I looked it up, and the cheapest gas in Kelowna is Costco. I'm going to use this amazing tool called Gas Buddy. As you can see, the cheapest gas is at 159 cents. This is a great tool to save some money on gas, but typically you're looking anywhere from 160 to 165. So if you're from Alberta, I'm sorry, it is more expensive to gas up here, unfortunately. If you're from Vancouver, you're welcome. It's actually a lot cheaper to gas up here in Kelowna. So we went through a lot of the costs you're going to incur here in Kelowna. I hope this video was helpful and you got a lot of value out of it. Please, if you'd like me to make some changes or you have some comments or concerns, I'd love to hear about them. That is how I improve as a content creator, and I'm sure someone else has the same question as you do. We are a big believer at Move Okanagan that you need to strategize and have a game plan. So I would encourage you to click on my calendar link. It's super easy. We'll schedule a Zoom call and come up with a way that you can move here without any stress. And I am here to guide you to make this relocation as easy as possible. Thank you so much for watching our channel. If you like this channel, you'll probably like the other video that I've done with the pros and cons of living in Kelowna. I can't wait to connect with you. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you leave a comment. I hope we eventually get to meet in person one day.